presented by Exquisite Timepieces. More about them in the description down below and later in the video. What is up, everybody? This is Guy, and you are watching JustBlueFish Watch Reviews, and today it is Seiko Diver Day. The diver that we are checking out, of course, it's the Seiko Prospex 1970s Diver Limited Edition Reference SLA063. Now, before we jump into it, a quick shout out to my channel sponsor and partner, Exquisite Timepieces, the watch dealer located right here in Naples, Florida, who makes videos like this possible. A huge thanks to them for loaning me this watch. I do really appreciate it. If you're interested in this watch that we're talking about today, or honestly any watch at all, I can't recommend them enough. So visit their website, exquisitetimepieces.com, or give them a call for your next watch purchase. Now, coming in at a retail price of $3,100, this is, of course, not an inexpensive Seiko, but there are a few good reasons why it comes in at a price above $3,000. First, SLA series watches like this are basically Grand Seiko quality, or at least very nearly Grand Seiko quality. They just wear the Seiko nameplate. So don't think of this as an expensive Seiko. Think of this as a really great deal on a Grand Seiko. That's the way I look at all SLA series watches. And from that perspective, they are absolutely worth the money. Second, most Seiko watches come with the 4R or 6R series movements, but not watches in the SLA lineup. And this SLA063 is no different. The SLA63 houses the caliber 8L35, 26 jewel automatic movement, a hand-assembled movement at Seiko's Shizuku-ishi Watch Studio. It's a movement with the increased torque necessary for smooth operation of the enlarged diver's hands that beats at a frequency of 28,800 vibrations per hour with a power reserve of approximately 50 hours, and it provides manual winding capability. These 8L series movements are much more accurate and have a much greater level of refinement as compared to the more entry-level Seikos that you find in the standard Prospex line of divers. And it's another reason why these watches are absolutely worth the money that they command. Finally, whether or not this justifies the price for you, well, that will depend on you. But like most SLA series watches, this is a limited production edition. And whether we're talking about an Omega or a Seiko or any other brand, when a watch is released with limited availability, the price goes up. It's just a fact of life in the world of watches, and it is what it is. Whether you love it or hate it, it does make the watch demand more money. And that's just the reality of the world we live in. Now, this watch is in a 1970s cushion-style dive watch case, not too dissimilar to the 6105 Captain Willard Seiko diver, so I'm guessing fans of that watch will really like this one as well. Now, as far as the case is concerned, the dimensions come in at 44 millimeters in diameter, and it is 13 millimeters thick with a lug-to-lug length of 49.3 millimeters, and it comes in at 20 millimeters between the lugs. On the wrist, I gotta say this watch wears a bit large for me and my 6.5-inch wrist, which is to be expected given the dimensions. But for those of you who like a watch with a bit more wrist presence, or for those of you that just have a larger wrist in general, this one will no doubt be just right. Now, moving on to the dial. Seiko says that this one is inspired by the Aurora Borealis, or the Northern Lights, with a subtly gradiated dial pattern evoking the changing colors of the night sky. And yeah, my take on it is that this is just a cool blue gradient dial, and it's sharp and it looks great, with one minor complaint. I don't personally care for the asymmetrical placement of the date complication. It's not a make or break deal for me, but it just messes with my sense of symmetry, and it looks a little bit out of place, at least in my opinion. The rest of the dial, from the printing to the applied markers and the handset, are all very traditional Seiko diver in design, super high quality and great looking to be sure, but nothing too adventurous or out of the ordinary, which, to be fair, is exactly what I'm looking for when I'm looking at Seiko divers. These are the hallmarks of a familiar Seiko design. All of the rest of the specifications, including ISO standards for scuba diving to depths of up to 200 meters, the superbly functional watch also offers LumiBrite markers and hands for enhanced legibility in low light conditions, a curved sapphire crystal with anti-reflective coating on the inner surface, screw-down crown and caseback, blue unidirectional elapsed time rotating bezel, and a tri-fold push-button release clasp with secure lock and extender. And it includes an additional black silicone strap as well. And while it is limited to just 500 pieces, you can still pick it up from my channel partner, Exquisite Timepieces. So if you're interested in this one, don't hesitate to give them a call. But yeah, there you have it, the Seiko SLA063 1970s diver, a really awesome dive watch that has Seiko history, heritage, and styling with Grand Seiko level quality. Truly, it's a perfect match. So yeah, if you're interested, please do hit up Exquisite Timepieces and tell them Guy from JustBlueFish sent you. I know they will absolutely take the best care of you. And with that said, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up for today. Say thanks for tuning in, and until the next one, bye now.